Hello, welcome to Jason the Old Millennial. My name is Jason, speaking to you here in my bedroom in the great state of Kansas. And I have bought a couple new items on physical media, whether it's mostly vinyl, but one CD I believe I have in here, and some movies as well. And so some I bought on Amazon, and the rest I bought today. Actually, I just came back from a record shop in Wichita, Kansas. First time I went there. It's called Spectrum Music, and this is the bag I have of the vinyl I bought there. Um, Very interesting record store. Of course, it's a little more downtown Wichita, which I'm not used to going to as much. I don't like going down too far in there, too much traffic and all that. It was a small record store, yeah, very small. Just had like one room, about the size of my bedroom. If you take this bedroom, maybe that's about the size. I mean, maybe it was bigger than this bedroom, but it was not much bigger than this bedroom. It felt like, and yeah, they had vinyl from different genres and used. I went to the used. I always like going to used because you can get cheap used vinyl and get a bunch of them for not very much money. My only negative about the record store is that they were playing this heavy metal music, like really heavy metal, like screaming, like whatever there was, they were screaming and they were cursing a lot, like F word, F word, F word. It was like the worst kind of music I've ever heard in my life. I was like, oh my God, this, like it was hard just sitting there like looking through music going, oh my God, I gotta get out of the store. This music's so terrible. And it's just so loud and it's just yelling F word, F word, F word. And you're like, oh my God. So definitely the guy who ran it definitely was more of a metalhead. I can tell by looking at him, he's maybe more of a metal person. But they had different genres, so I was a little afraid when I walked in. I was like, I hope it's just not metal music in here. I hope they have other types, and so I did find other types. But anyways, before I get to that, talk about some stuff I bought on Amazon. Um, I got one CD, and that is A Mighty Wind, which is a soundtrack to the movie A Mighty Wind, which came out like in 2003. And I absolutely love this movie. One of my favorite comedies. It's a mockumentary, so it's a fake documentary comedy where they take these different folk groups. There's three of them there. The Folksmen, I think the New Main Street Singers, and Mitch and Mickey, and they're getting ready to put on a concert for a promoter that died. Anyways, that promoted or produced folk music. Anyways, in this fake documentary. Yeah, love this comedy. Love the music. I love it because they all the actors wrote their own music and sing it and played the musical instruments. So it all sounds like music, folk music from the 60s period, but written in 2003 by these people to sound like from the 60s, which I think is awesome. The folk music, I love folk music, and I thought it was really good folk music. Like this is folk music you could put on the radio, and I would absolutely love. Especially Mitch and Mickey are my favorite. They have the best songs on the soundtrack and in the movie. And I should say Mitch and Mickey played by Eugene Levy and Catherine O'Hara. Catherine O'Hara just passed away a week or two ago. She is so good in this movie. She steals the show. They both steal the show, I think, in this movie. And in the comedy before this that they did together, Best in Show, which has the same director, Christopher Guest, who's also in the movie. But Christopher Guest directs the movie, co-writes it with Eugene Levy, and also stars in it along with other actors like Eugene Levy and Catherine O'Hara, and there's like Jane Lynch and Parker Posey. Great cast, and they're improvising a lot, so it's very funny improvising throughout the movie, but it has some good story moments as well, planned as well in there. But yeah, Catherine O'Hara, I just wanted to really get something to kind of in memory of her and how great she is. And there's so many movies you think of, like obviously Home Alone is the first one. When I was a kid, I was a big fan of Home Alone, and she was great. And it wasn't a comedic part really; it was more of a dramatic part. And she was really great as Kevin's mom in both movies I saw when I was a kid. So I definitely think about those movies, but I think my favorite Catherine O'Hara movies is this one and Best in Show. She's absolutely hilarious in both of them. Other people probably think about Ghostbusters and other stuff like that, but And Eugene Levy and Catherine Hera are such a great duo. They're also in Schitt's Creek TV show, which I actually haven't seen. I've seen like a couple episodes. It's on HBO Max right now, so I definitely want to catch that because it was a very popular sitcom. Also, this is in our album exchange that I have with Nick, Scott, and Briar. So I know Briar's buying this as well. And so Briar, you can buy it. I bought it. So he'll probably be showcasing this on his channel at some point as well. But I definitely want to get this so I can showcase it when we do the album exchange. But yeah, great folk music, great album, soundtrack album to a great comedy. And I just wanted to say how great I think Catherine Hera is. One of the great comedic actresses. And I bought this on vinyl with the Beatles. Yeah, I still need to complete my Beatles vinyl. I want to get all the Beatles albums on vinyl. It's funny, when I first started, like the first album I got was Revolver, I think, was one of the first albums I got when I first started collecting vinyl, probably like 3 years ago. And 3 years later, I still haven't gotten all of them on vinyl because I never see this when I go to record stores. I never see With the Beatles. So I had to get this on Amazon. I'm still missing Beatles for Sale and Yellow Submarine, I guess. I get those two, then I basically have the 13 kind of complete Beatle albums, you can say anyway. So not much more I can say about this. Their second album, it's one of my least favorite albums of theirs, but still is a good album. It Won't Be Long, and All My Loving, It Won't Be Long is my favorite songs on here. Till There Was You, I think it's a good cover song. Please Mr. Postman is also one of my all-time favorite cover songs as well. Yeah, a couple other good stuff. It does have some bad cover stuff like Roll Over Beethoven. I Want to Be Your Man is original. Little Child, not that great. Don't Bother Me. Harrison's first song's not that great. So that's why it's not one of my favorites. Still has some good stuff in here from 1963. And then I got some movies on Amazon. One, The Kingdom on Blu-ray. Yeah, I've been wanting to get this. I saw it in the theater. Absolutely love this movie. Peter Berg. Kind of a action, drama, comedy mixture about like a terrorist attack in like Iraq or something. And these FBI agents kind of go rogue and they go investigate this and try to take down the terrorist that is responsible. We got Jamie Foxx in here, Chris Cooper, Jennifer Garner, Jason Bateman. Great cast. Yeah, just one of my favorite movies that came out. I forget what year, early 2000s probably. Probably one of my favorites, not my favorite year of that. Probably my favorite movie that came out that year. Definitely gotta check it out. Anyways, action's great. The last shootout scene is amazing. Like, it's one of the best shootout scenes I've ever seen in a movie. Then I haven't picked up a steelbook in a while, so I wanted to get a steelbook. So I picked up Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle, the first movie that they did, kind of this almost sequel trilogy, because I think it's in the same universe as the original Jumanji, which I have on Blu-ray. I love that original with Ron Williams. But I like this. I saw this at the theater. I thought it was a really fun movie. I really love Dwayne Johnson and Kevin Hart's chemistry. They are so good together in this movie. So there's the back of the steelbook, and I open the steelbook. It's a little bit broken. The spine is a little bit broken, unfortunately. But anyway, so I'm glad I got that. The other one's on steelbook too, so I'll probably get that on steelbook at some point. And then they're working on the third Jumanji movie right now, so I'm sure it's coming out in another year. We'll get Jumanji 3. And I really enjoy the Jumanji movies. And then the last movie I got, I also like collecting Criterion Collection movies, or on the Criterion, This time I got The In-Laws on Criterion. A great comedy if you've never heard of it. You got Peter Falk and Alan Arkin as the two main characters. They play father-in-laws. Their kids are getting married, and you find out that Peter Falk's character is like used to be in the CIA, and they kind of get involved in this thing. And he's like a dentist or a doctor or something like that, and so he kind of gets involved in this whole mission that he's on accidentally, and so he has to anyways, it's hilarious, especially Alan Arkin. He's absolutely hilarious, as you see. in this. Anyways, definitely check it out. I'm really excited to watch the audio commentary because it has both of them on audio commentary and like the director and all that, and a lot of special features on here. So love getting these Criterion with all the extra stuff on it. And there's the inside there. So yeah, definitely check this movie out if you never heard of The In-Laws. Really funny comedy. All right, now I'm going to get to the brown bag here. Pull out the records I got. Kind of in no particular order. I got Thunderball on the motion picture soundtrack. James Bond. I'm a big James Bond fan, and I love the music, and I love trying to find these. I have For Your Eyes Only. Is it For Your Eyes Only? No, not For Your Eyes Only. The Spy Who Loved Me. I have The Spy Who Loved Me on vinyl, and so I saw this Thunderball. This is the fourth James Bond movie with Sean Connery. So I'm really excited to get another James Bond. I'd love to collect all the James Bond. That'd be fun if I can find them all. You got John Barry, of course, conducting this, and you got Tom Jones singing the title song anyway. So yeah, I love getting these James Bond soundtracks on vinyl. Let's see. I got On Golden Pond soundtrack. Great movie from like 1981. You got Henry Fonda, Katharine Hepburn, Jane Fonda. Both Henry Fonda and Katharine Hepburn won Oscars for Best Actor and Best Actress for this movie. Both put in really great performances, and especially Henry Fonda, the first Oscar win. He was getting up there, and he died just months after he won the Oscar. So really cool to see him finally win for this. Yeah, really cool kind of drama comedy. And it's funny, you have Henry Fonda and Jane Fonda, who are real life father and daughter, and they play father and daughter in this movie. And it kind of deals with their strange relationship, which they had one in real life. So man, the dramatic scenes are so good because they're coming from a real place because they had problems in real life, and it's really coming out in this movie. But there's some funny moments as well, and they're like on this pond called Golden Pond, so there's a lot of scenes where they're out on a boat fishing and stuff like that. The music is so good. That's why when I saw it, I was like, oh, I gotta get this because I love the music in this movie, so I know this is gonna be pretty good. See if it says music by Dave Grusin, who I don't know, but I know there's some really good stuff here. I love comedy albums, and I did find a couple good comedy albums to get. I got Don Rickles, Hello Dummy. Yeah, Don Rickles, really funny I love getting old comedy on vinyl. It's something I really love collecting. And so, yeah, it was fun to see this, and don't know much about it. Don't know what I'm going to get exactly, but I'm excited. Don Rickles is one of the best comedians of that period, the 60s kind of period anyway, so we'll see what we get there. And then I got Jonathan Winters' Wings It, another comedy album with the great Jonathan Winters. Yeah, he is one of my favorite comedic actors from the 60s period, 70s period, 60s period mostly, I would say. Like, It's a Mad, 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 Mad World, and The Russians Are Coming, are great. And he was I don't know if he's a stand-up, I guess he maybe did stand-up. His stand-up was more like doing characters, as you see all the different characters he does. He was a great improviser, so I'm kind of curious. I bet this was going to be a lot of him improvising with the crowd, him doing funny characters. He was kind of like the Robin Williams of his day, anyway. So I really like Jonathan Winters. So happy to find a record of his that I can add to my comedy collection. And then we got Monty Python's Flying Circus. So another comedy album. So it has skits from the TV show. I'm not like the biggest Monty Python fan, but I haven't watched like the whole shows, but I've seen clips of shows and stuff, and definitely some very funny stuff. Very funny people, Eric Idle and I don't know if it has the names here. Graham Chapman, Michael Palin, John Cleese are absolutely hilarious. I do like Monty Python. The Holy Grail is a very funny movie, so I'll be curious. This will have hopefully some of the best skits on it. That would be very funny. And then we got Chicago 16. Yeah, adding to my Chicago collection. I have Chicago 2, Chicago 3, Chicago 17. So now I got 16, and this is a pretty good album from what I remember. It has like one huge song in here. Let's see. Hard to Say I'm Sorry is like the big song. Really great stuff. This is more of their later period where they're more of a, you know, soft rock band and have more of the great, you know, harmonies and stuff like that. So yeah, glad to add this to my Chicago collection. And we got Honky Chateau by Elton John. Yeah, we just talked about this album because we're talking about our favorite albums of 1972, and all four of us on the channel that we did this, all four of us had this on our top 10 favorite albums of 1972. It was the only album that we all agreed on in our top 10, and I had it, I believe, at number 5 on my list or something like that. Yeah, so it's like a top 5 album. It's my second favorite Elton John album. Yeah, great album. Yeah, Honky Cat started off the album. And then Rocket Man, of course, is the huge song on here. Love that song. But also Mellow's Great Salvation, and then Mona Lisa's and Mad Hatters. Really good deep cuts on here, along with the 2 big hits. Anyway, so really excited to get that. I don't have any Elton John albums, actually. So glad to find some. And we got Caribou, another Elton John album. This was a pretty decent album. We covered this on, I think, Scott's channel. We've been going through Elton John albums. And overall, I like this album. Definitely Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me is the big song. Love that song. The Bee is Back. I won't say the full word, but that's on here as well. Then I don't remember what else I liked off of here, but yeah, it's not one of my favorite, but it's a decent album enough that I was like, I want to get more Elton John, so might as well grab this. And his views, so it's not very much money. Let's see, this is the last album. Last album I got was Daydream by Lovin' Spoonful. It's a little wear and tear. There's a big tear there. So I was a little bit like weary of like, should I get this with such, but I usually don't care. If it has wear and tear on it, it just gives it a little more character. Like it's been, you know, through something. It's been used and, you know, and all that. But this is my favorite Lovin' Spoonful album. This is their second album after Do You Believe in Magic, which is a good first album. Yeah, and this has a couple of big hits. Daydream, of course, the title song, great song. But my favorite Lovin' Spoonful song is on here. Did You Have to Do It? It's such a great song. Love that one. Or no, sorry, that's not it. Sorry, it's hard to read because there's like a big tear at the middle. You Didn't Have to Be So Nice. That's the song. Is my favorite song. You didn't have. I can't read it because it's. But did you have? You Didn't Have to Do It or something like that. It's a good song in here too. It's one of my favorite. But sorry, you Didn't Have to Be So Nice. That's my favorite Lovin' Spoonful song. Great harmonies, great chorus, just wonderful. I love Bald Headed Lena is a very funny song as well. And I can't read much else on here, but overall, great album. Really love this album. This made my top 10 of the year it came out, which came out somewhere in the mid-60s period, I think, or late 60s anyways. So yeah, glad to find that on vinyl. Got me a Lovin' Spoonful album. So yeah, those are the albums I got. Feel free to comment if you got these albums or which one's your favorites and all that. But thank you so much for watching this video and liking it, and thank you to all my subscribers for supporting the channel. I appreciate y'all and hope you have a good day.